What up, AndStilltv in the building, coming at y'all with another one. So we back at it talking about the politics of boxing. This time, we're going to talk about Devin Haney, all right? So let's talk about how it's been affecting him and what he got to do moving forward. Cue the intro.
I'm handsome, I'm bad, I'm pretty, and can't possibly be beat.
We're just going to get right to it this time. I promise. I'm living in the prophecy. And I feel ain't nobody hot as me. Ain't nobody strong as we. I'm flexing on your heroes. I'm working on your prodigy. Stay away from envy, boy. That hate is something strong to see. I think I might have came too strong on that. And they might think it's something wrong with that. Let me take it back.
And still.
Yo, Aaron!
Quick!
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to AndStilltv. We got a guest in the building, Dean D.A. Cuzzo, what's up, man?
Man, I'm just here trying to soak up the game from the experts. That's all.
All right, what you know about Devin Haney?
Devin Haney. As a casual fan, Devin Haney's good. He's a good fighter for sure. I feel like he's mapping out that same way that Floyd took and try to like mirror his whole destination of where he's trying to go behind Floyd. That's how I feel about Devin Haney. I don't really fuck with his father like that.
Don't fuck with Bill?
Nah, I'm not a fan of Bill. He do a lot of talking, and to me it seems like he does more talking than Devin Haney does.
I agree there. I'm not a huge fan of Bill either.
They both talk a lot of shit.
Yeah, but Bill be talking like he's in the ring doing. You know what I mean? Like he.
So before we get into it too far, so Aaron is a little higher on Devin than I am. Although I
from a pure boxing perspective, I don't like the way he carries himself. DA made a good point. You know, he is a Floyd copycat, and we see a lot of them. And I understand that.
I mean,
you know,
that's the blueprint.
Yeah, in the same way, in the early 2000s, you had all the cats trying to play like Jordan. You know, Floyd made the most money. He had the most swag doing it. He never lost. He barely got touched. So you're going to have a lot of those guys. Like, I understand that. But, you know, you never respect that as much as a cat doing it his own way. So I don't like that side. But as a pure boxing, I am higher than Devin than Quick is.
I don't particularly dislike him following Floyd. Floyd is his mentor, so I mean, why not? You're following one of the greatest fighters of all time. Mm-hmm. My thing is the whole Gary Russell back and forth. That rubbed me wrong because I felt like he never intended on taking that fight. I don't even think he intended on it, you know, being the biggest issue as it became. Just for a little history on that, Gary basically said he would fight Terrence Crawford for $1.5 million because they had a history and they had a past. And then out of nowhere, Devin was like, "I'll take that 1.5." I think he was just talking shit, you know, like that. He already had a fight planned with Gamboa, already had a date. So when Gary was like, you know what, initially he was like, you know, well, I just gave that offer out for Crawford.
It was personal.
Yeah, it was personal, and I would need a little more than that. So then they was like, "Oh, you're ducking." So then, you know, they forced Gary Russell's hand to say, "Okay, I'll take the 1.5 for you." You know what I mean? So at that point, they started going back and forth like they're trying to negotiating, but they were never negotiating in good faith, in my opinion. So instead of just saying we already got a fight, we don't really want that fight, you know, Bill went on a press run. That's why I say I don't really rock with Bill. He was on everybody's channel all day, every day, bashing Gary Russell, trying to get everybody to say Gary Russell's a duck. Yeah. And Gary is the most duck guy in boxing. So for me, it was just like, I didn't like that. Now, as far as Haney's skill, I could tell he's a great boxer. Like I said before, I didn't think he had that much power after the Gamboa fight. I questioned his power. And other than that, he deserves to fight the best right now. He's ready. Now, where I feel like he's getting the short end of the stick. Again, we got to bring up that franchise belt we told you about, DA. So after Canelo got the franchise, the second and only man to get it other than Canelo was Lomachenko.
Okay.
So Lomachenko got it when Devin was his mandatory. See?
sense.
Yeah, so he don't have to fight Devin, right? So Devin gets the WBC belt. Yeah, he has a WBC belt.
Before you keep talking, explain the franchise belt real quick. So it makes it so you don't have to fight.
Yeah, mandatories.
Your
Yeah,
mandatories,
so the franchise belt is basically saying that you're so integral for the sport. You're such a huge name that you shouldn't.
Whoever you want to duck.
Basically, but they say you shouldn't be forced to fight a mandatory.
Because it's a waste of time. Basically, you should just go after all the top names. You know, whether they got a strap or not. They just want you to make big fights or whatever.
Okay.
Basically,
Exactly. So that gave Lomachenko a reason not to fight Devin, right? So meanwhile, Teofimo Lopez, who only had 15 fights, he gets the fight with Lomachenko. So that was Devin's opportunity, but he didn't get it. So Devin had to go and fight Gamboa. So Teo beats Lomachenko, and before he fights him, he requested, if I beat Lomachenko, can I have that franchise belt too? So I can duck Devin. Wish is granted. He wins the fight. Now he can duck Devin, and now he's saying, I'm the big dog. Devin, you haven't fought anybody. The audacity after you took that man's opportunity to tell him he hasn't fought anyone.
and it's like, yo, before Loma, who the fuck did you fight? You got the Loma fight though. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Nah, that's
Like, yeah. So,
The man has more fights than you professionally, and you're saying he needs to fight someone, right? So then he said, we'll fight. He said, we'll fight maybe 5 years from now. They're both young. That can happen, but that's a duck.
Nah, that's definitely a duck, man.
What's his name? Tim Bradley. All the shit he's saying about Arrow ducking Bud and it ain't no other side of the street.
Tim Bradley, before you keep going, Tim
Yeah.
Bradley may be the worst analyst I've ever seen.
He's doing all Bob's dirty work. But he said that T.O., right after he won, don't fight Devin Haney. You need to move up. Go up to 140. Like, so, and they were.
That's straight from Bob's mouth, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
He just talking
he
for
just
him.
pushing Bob's agenda.
And the whole time leading up to the fight and post-fight, they were saying that this is for undisputed. And everyone's like, how's he undisputed if Devin Haney has a belt? And he's like, no, I have a franchise WBC. So they built it up as an undisputed fighter. So he's been running with that until recently. The WBC president came out and said, no, that's just a designation. That's not really a belt.
Yeah.
So Devin is still the champion. So now at this point, if you really want to be undisputed, you fight Devin. So he said that he'll fight Devin, but he needs $10 million. And keep in mind,
Is that reality?
No, he made less than $2 million against Lomachenko, who was supposed to be one of the biggest guys in boxing.
What fighters right now is making $10 million? A fight.
Maybe Canelo makes more than that.
Canelo makes more. You may get an Anthony Joshua making more than that.
Wilder, Errol Spence, Tank
Errol
Davis.
Spence and Tank Davis.
That's it.
That's
Big
about it.
names.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's no way that's going to happen.
So basically, that was his way to duck him.
Yeah, he's ducking.
I'm after for $10 million. I know they're not gonna give it to me, but I'm gonna just throw that out there so I won't have to fight this guy.
But just think about the balls you got to have to know that you were gifted that opportunity when it really belonged to Devin.
Yeah.
And they gave you that fight, and now you won. And instead of saying, okay, I understand you got shit, I'll fight you and prove it, I'm going to duck you as well. And then talk shit to you.
Politics.
And, you always bring up the whole race thing. And the reason why that like right here like sounds so relevant, because Teofimo Lopez don't even strike me as the kind of guy that's just ducking, that's scared of cats.
Dude, before he won over Loma, he was a completely different person. As soon as he beat Loma, his whole tone changed.
Yeah, you could tell Bob Arum got in his
I remember
ear.
that though. But before Loma, he was talking cash shit. Like, I can beat whoever.
Yeah.
Whoever won.
And I believe that he really thought that.
Like that's him.
Yeah, that's really
That's
him.
him
Yeah.
for real. But yeah.
And yeah, you can tell that he definitely got some batteries in his back, from Bob Arum and ESPN and all those guys.
So another way that Haney's been done dirty, other than Teo and Loma, is for instance, Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell tomorrow. That's supposed to be the mandatory to fight Haney next. Well, Ryan has already been talking about fighting Tank. So he's not going to take that fight with Haney if Tank gives him the fight, which he will. So that's another guy off the board that would be somebody you could say you've beat because he's not going to fight you. You see what I'm saying?
So, a guy like Devin Haney, we talked about it with Charlo. You know, it ain't looking good. You know what I'm saying? So what you think, like, Devin Haney got to do? Who he going to fight?
Hold on, I got one more thing to add. So not only does T.O. not have any mandatories, they're going to give Devin Haney 2 mandatories. So it's supposed to be the winner of Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell and Javier Fontoura.
How do they
Fortuna,
come
yeah.
up with this though? How do you know if you got a mandatory 2 man? Like they just make this shit up on the fly?
Basically.
Mauricio Suleiman is the president of WBC, and I think he just sits back and says, you know, how can I make this work?
Yeah, basically. Yep.
That's crazy.
Motherfuckers pulling the strings up top. It's just like politics in the real world in boxing. It's the same thing. You just got people that are just, you know, doing things to fit their own narrative, to fit their own agenda, and they going to see it out the way they want it.
I don't get it how, like, this person gets 1 mandatory. This person gets 2 mandatories. Like, how do you...
So,
Ain't no equality out here. Ain't no such thing, basically.
So in Devin's case, the reason why they're doing that because he missed the mandatory with an injury, and they took his belt, and then something happened where they ended up giving it back. But they were like, because you didn't fight your mandatory last time, we're going to give you 2 mandatories now. But as you can see, there's only 2 guys with a franchise belt now in all of boxing, and there's I don't know how many black champions. I haven't even heard a mention of a black champion being considered for it.
Yeah.
I want to say they offered it to Deontay Wilder, and he declined it.
He turned the shit down. He like, that shit dumb.
It's a duck belt.
Yeah. So.
Hey, let me pour my drink.
So what you think, DA, man?
I mean, you already know how I feel about, like, the shit is definitely some bullshit. It just goes back to the governing body over boxing. Like,
Doesn't
boxing
exist.
it's like boxing is the only sport where it's 35,000 different people that have the say so and can make shit work.
And they all got equal clout right now.
It's like fucking the NFL, but they're using Canadian rules, they're using XFL rules, they're using college football rules, and everybody has something to say of who they can play or whatever. Like, the shit is dumb, but
Yeah.
That's a good analogy.
I like that.
Yeah.
That was good. Yeah, so, yeah, and makes it so we suffer. We don't get the fights. And as much damn talent is down there at 135 and 30, and we don't get to see these boys fight. You know, it's sad.
So I guess Devin's going to end up fighting Fortuna or Luke Campbell.
Gonna beat the shit out of Fortuna. He's probably gonna fight Luke Campbell. Ryan Garcia probably is gonna beat Luke Campbell. He's probably not gonna get the Garcia fight.
But
bullshit.
so, again, where would he have been if he would have fought Lomachenko? Where, how much money could he be making? Could he be the new Tank, the new cash cow?
Yeah.
If he would have won that fight, would Tank be more inclined to fight him now because he'd be, there'd be a big money fight. But again, because he didn't get his opportunity, we're sitting here hoping he can finally get a fight with someone.
Right.
Hoping.
And we're still going to be told every time that we mention a name that he needs to fight somebody else first.
So, you Devin Haney, what do you do? Like, we talked about the problem. What's the solution if you're in Devin Haney's shoes?
So I think he's already doing stuff. Like, this week it came out where he was talking shit about how he made Tank quit in sparring with the Mayweather rules, what they call doghouse rules.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that's him like, all right, I got to keep my name out here.
And that's one thing I give him credit for.
Yeah.
And I would like to see more fighters doing that, talking more shit,
Exactly. Just make sure it's truth behind what you're saying.
Yeah, that's the thing. He doesn't do it. He doesn't do it particularly well, and a lot of it's you can kind of see through a lot of it.
That's
But still,
daddy.
That's what I would say. If he keep his dad always chimes in.
Yeah.
Like, just do it on your own. Stand
Right.
on your own. I don't want to hear from Bill.
right? Yeah. But I agree. I mean, he does everything he can. Like, he posts the flashy pictures on his Instagram. He does a good job with his IG. Posting all the pictures in his camp and all the videos, him talking shit, him on the pads, and he does a good job with that. He's one of the guys that does.
His shit don't look. When I look at him talking shit, it doesn't seem authentic.
It doesn't at all.
Like this is what me and Dad talked about, or this the shit that Dad talking on.
Or this is me trying to be like Floyd.
Yeah,
basically.
like
yeah.
you don't seem like yourself. Like
Yeah.
Matter of fact, fuck Fortuna. I don't want to see that. Fight Gary Russell. You supposed to do it before. Ain't nothing else on the table. Plenty of time to make it happen. If you was real about it, fight Gary Russell now.
Both
You
y'all
gonna duck
being
him,
ducked, so don't duck each other.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I know Gary would take the fight.
yeah,
Yeah.
Gary, hey, he get on Instagram and talk his shit all the time. Like
Yeah.
that's what he does. He'd get on there for 45 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes and talk shit and tell you why he's ducking. Tell you that the contract's some bullshit. Like
Who
Devin
y'all-
Haney not doing that.
Who you got between Haney and Russell?
Russell.
Russell.
Damn. Everybody got Russell.
Yeah.
That's all three of us. Damn.
I think
and I expected different from you. 'Cause I thought
Nah.
you're Devin. You like Devin.
I like Russell though.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, you talking about two really good fighters though. After what I saw against Gamboa, I would take Russell. Because I don't think, like you mentioned like the power. The thing of it is, I mean, I've seen Devin Haney like ice the shit out of dudes with one punch before. But one thing I noticed when he does it, he loads up.
Yeah.
It's a difference between swinging with all your power and catching someone in the chin and knocking them out. You could do that, right? Like if you swing as hard as you can, you catch someone, you putting them down. There's a difference between that and knocking someone out like Tank. It's in your natural flow of your punches. Like you still punching with good technique,
Yeah.
and you
But you
flooring
still got
dudes.
that power to
Yeah,
put 'em out of the
to
way.
put someone down. Like you not even punching as hard as you can, and you still icing dudes. Devin doesn't have that.
No.
If he can't keep Gary off of him, he's not gonna beat Gary.
Now, even though I agree with y'all, I got Russell too. I guess I'm concerned about the weight. Gary's never fought above 126.
Yeah.
So
Devin's
that's
a lot bigger.
That's 2 weight classes.
Devin's a whole lot bigger. I would have to pick. Like I think that's a good fight though.
It's still a good fight. Yeah.
I think it's a very good fight.
Do you think that earns any respect for Haney where he can get a fight after that?
Yeah, it depends how he looks.
Okay.
I think so.
I don't think so. Like, cause everyone hates on Gary. He the most hated guy in boxing. So I think if Devin beats him, they're just gonna say Lomachenko already beat him, and he was 2 divisions smaller than you.
It's always gonna come down to the money. If he can generate enough money to make guys want to take it on, then they're gonna take the fight. If they can make enough money fighting him.
How long has Gary Russell been champ?
He's the longest reigning champ in boxing, so I think it's been like 6 years.
I thought it was longer actually.
Yeah,
I gotta look it
I
up.
think it's since 14. I think.
Okay.
That should say enough,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
for me that say enough. Like,
It means something.
well, yeah, it gotta mean something.
It means something,
And-
especially because he handled JoJo Diaz, and JoJo Diaz moved up to what
130
130
and grabbed the belt.
grabbed the strap, and they try to discredit Gary for that victory, saying JoJo wasn't this, JoJo wasn't that, but now JoJo in the mix.
He's a champion.
Yeah.
Yep. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Haney gonna have to. I don't know what he's gonna do, man. If he don't fight Gary
I'm gonna
next,
duck Gary.
He could always move up to 140 and just say fuck all y'all.
but even at 140, if you're not fighting Josh Taylor or Ramirez, then what are you moving up for?
But they may fight him though.
I doubt it,
Why?
because I think they're gonna fight each other, and they don't want to run the risk of
But
losing.
Devin Haney I think he's a bigger name than them. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
From a casual fan, he is.
Yep.
You gotta realize, casual fans is what bring the money in.
So you don't know who Josh Taylor is or Jose
Devin-
Ramirez?
Devin Haney's a
I know
bigger name than
Devin
Josh
Haney.
than Josh Taylor, bro. I'm telling you, he is.
Coming from a casual
Yeah,
fan.
so I guarantee you.
I met him
if
with
we
the
look,
experts.
yeah,
But coming from a casual
I guarantee
fan,
you. If we pull up the Instagrams right now, Devin got more followers. I guarantee it,
That's what I'm saying. He more of a
Guaranteed.
household name.
100%. So he move up to 140, start to make his bid there. He could always come back down. Fight these guys at a catch weight. May not be a bad play for him. Say, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna move up. I'm gonna clean out the next division. See what happens from there. He can always end up because a lot of those cats are gonna move up to 140 anyway. He could go up there, get a head start, be the kingpin of 140.
I know somebody else who might fight him.
Who?
Chris Colbert. look. He don't want that though. I don't think he want that.
And you got Shakur too.
Shakur is on the
He's on the other network.
Yeah, he's on the other network, so I don't know how that would happen. He already mapped out his plan, and it didn't include Devin Haney. So
they also like they know they know each other real well too.
Yeah,
like they kind of boys. Like they've had beef, but it's been like brother beef.
I don't like that either. Though. Like it's a lot of it seems like all of the top fighters are like cool. They
no, that's not true. That's not true. And I'm not.
I'm talking like black fighters.
Yeah, but it's not true though. Like so the reason why they quote unquote cool, they came up in the amateurs together.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a respect thing. Like you can only not be so uncool with somebody that was that good in the amateurs with you. Y'all been sparring each other. So it's more so that if it came down to it, they would definitely fight.
Okay.
But it ain't gonna be this real bad blood, is what I'm saying. Like it ain't gonna be like Gary Russell and a Devin Haney.
Well, the guys I like, they ain't friends with nobody in their division.
Talking about Spence.
Spence, Jamel Charlo, David
Jamal,
Benavidez. They ain't, if you in my well, Jamel actually said it. He was like, "Fuck you if you're in my weight class. I ain't fucking with nobody," because he was talking greasy about Floyd.
Yeah.
And Maul was like, "Chill," because Floyd had so much influence. He was like, "Chill, bro." He was like, "Nah, I'm just saying. He keep talking about he gonna come back. That's my weight class. Fuck that. Ain't cool with nobody in my weight class."
I like that too.
Exactly.
I like that shit. Yeah.
So tell us what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think Devin Haney should do to get out of this situation. Let us know if you think he deserved to fight. We can chop it up. But
tell him stop talking to Dad. Don't let Dad talk. Just be himself, man.
Remaining undefeated